Well, speaking of the competition in the SEC, the team that went undefeated in the league is Wareham, and they're the number 3 seed in Division 3. They will host a game Thursday against Seekonk Bellingham, and to them, or Seekonk or Bellingham, the winner of that game. Right. And so we say to whoever wins that game, enjoy your consolation prize, and you can play the home game.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt in my mind that they'll win. I don't know much about Bellingham except that they play up all the time, and they come in. They're pretty good. Are they good enough to stay with Wareham? I don't think so. I don't worry about Wareham until or unless they play a real good team and it's a close game in the last 2 minutes. You don't know what's going to happen with Wareham. Well, there's a lot of individual stars on that team. You don't know how they're going to handle that. But I see them coasting through the first game. Then they'll probably play Martha's Vineyard. In the second game, Martha's Vineyard they beat Fian. So they might give them a little game. They're very scrappy. But I like the bracket they're in, and I expect them to go a long way. Wareham.
One thing that worries me about Wareham is Scituate is probably in the tournament somewhere, so that's a problem.
Scituate has moved up. They're in Division 2.
That's right, yep.
They're in Division 2.
The other thing that concerns me is because Wareham has had such success and they clinched early and they clinched the league early, I don't know if their starters have played a complete game in the last few weeks.
No, I was told that they scrimmaged Scituate Thursday.
Oh,
so
good plan.
Yeah, so that's he's doing everything right. He being Kevin Majoli, he jacked up the schedule. Where the non-conference games he played. He lost twice to East Boston and St. John's Prep, I think. But they're very good teams. Division 1, Division 2, whatever. And he didn't mind. He didn't mind losing those games. One, of course, Jules didn't play. But they were competitive in both games. So I really, on paper, I don't see anybody beating them in Division 3. Maybe Cathedral will give them a game.
Well, that was one of the keys, too.
Spellman.
One of the keys for Kevin Bergioli was to keep his team from believing that hype. And I think that he handled things well because when it seemed like, they were taking things easy and they were trying to coast through games, he'd sit somebody to kind of shake them out of it.
Yeah. And, it's... The problem is, like you said, they're only playing, the starters being they, only playing a half to 3/4 of a game because they're winning by an average of 40 points. And, it's hard to keep everybody happy. But by the same token, they've gotten some real good play with 3 or 4 kids off the bench. Yeah. I think Mendes, the guy who comes in the backcourt, he could start for most teams around here. And, of course, the freshman, Fernandez, he's outstanding. And Marcus Gomes, who I think starts now, has been starting with it's either 1 or 2 guys who aren't playing from various reasons in various games. Marcus Gomes has played a lot. So they go 8 or 9 deep easily, and they're all talented.
All right, well, that is the look at Division 3. Now, in Division 4, we just have the one team, but they're a good one. We have Sacred Heart or West Bridgewater, whoever wins that game, is going to travel to number 1 seed Westport on Thursday. And the Wildcats really did have an excellent season. But then again, Sacred Heart and West Bridgewater are 2 teams that are traditionally strong rivals of Westport teams.
Yeah, they handled them okay during the regular. Handled West Bridgewater certainly during the regular season. Where it's at Westport, I don't see them having any kind of a letdown. I would think at this point that the teams like West Bridgewater should figure out by now what they have to do to stop Matt Medeiros. Like maybe put either kidnap him or put 2 guys on him at all time. Leave somebody open from the outside, make him beat you from the outside. But when Matt Medeiros gets the ball, get on him. So somebody's going to have to step up. Somebody else besides Medeiros. They've got, Adam Soares is a decent player, but they're all overshadowed by a kid who can score, 47 points a game and get 11 3-pointers. But when you talk of teams, they have 4 guys who play together extremely well in Matt Medeiros, who, I'm not saying he doesn't play well. He does play well, but he's the guy that they go to, and he delivers.
I've seen Westport a couple times this year, and besides Matt being able to score at will, he really sets up the offense. He gets his teammates involved. I know I was there the night he scored his 1,000th point, and he was passing off to teammates on the fast break when he could have taken it himself. He made the extra pass to a teammate. He's very unselfish. I think in the game where he scored 47 this year, I think he had 15 assists, or it was over 10 assists in that game. So he is. He's scoring the points, but he's not a ball hog. He's not.
He would rather pass.
Yeah, he would. Yeah. He would, and he doesn't like the spotlight. I know the night where he scored the 1,000th, he was almost embarrassed a little bit, with the celebration and everything. But Chris Rose is another one who's kind of stepped up for them, throughout the season. Seeing them play. I guess if Matt does have an off night, or if somebody else doesn't step up, maybe they could be beaten. But it's going to be pretty tough. I know they've lost to Cathedral the last few years, and the guys, were kind of saying they want to change that this year. But Cathedral's always tough too.
Yeah, athletic teams have a better chance against Westport than half-court teams.
Yeah.
Because Westport will just move the ball around and burn you, either with Medeiros bombing the threes, or he'll get it inside to Soares and somebody else, or Rosa can also hit the three.
Yeah.
Nice team. Them in Wareham, look for them to go a long way.
So I was going to ask you what your predictions are for the tournament here with these teams. Some of them could be surprises. Some of them, or they're just going to give you what you're expecting out of them. But Westport and Wareham, those are your picks to really go far?
Yes. And I would say the only other team assured of going 2 games deep is the winner of the Fairhaven Apponequet game.
You don't want to go out on a limb with Stang? Or?
That is the limb. Well, Stang... Canton split with Fairhaven. I don't know much about them. They did a job on Fairhaven in Canton, but this is at Stang, and I've seen, like I said, I've seen Stang beat Bishop Feehan, and if they play even remotely close to how they played that night, they should win. Beyond that, they have to go on the road, and I think it's bye-bye.
Hey, well, he's Buddy Thomas, and if he says it, it's probably so. And be out there checking out all those games. You'll know Buddy because you can't miss him. He's the one that everybody's booing when they realize that he's in the room because he's a Colts fan. Although they might be sympathizing with you now.
They might be giving you hugs.
I don't need any sympathy. Like I said to the Patriots fans, who did you watch the Super Bowl with? Tom Brady?
All right, we will leave it at that.
Okay.